Hi Gemini, welcome back to the Astrology 33 channel. This is your February 2022 tarot reading. Thank you to those of you who've liked, viewed, shared, subscribed, and donated to the channel. I appreciate all of that. For those of you new to the channel, as far as what we have in front of us, the Celtic cross spread as always, and I also pulled some Oracle cards and Mudra card for you guys, so we're actually going to start the reading off by rolling those astrology dice we have in front of us to get an idea of where your focus will be as far as that goes. Alright, so we have Gemini, so definitely some focus on yourselves this month. The nodes actually moved out of your sign into Taurus, so there's not really much going on for you guys astrologically speaking. We have Neptune. Neptune is actually in your 10th house of career and social status, which is Pisces. And speaking of 10th house, we also got 10th house there as well. So it makes sense with Jupiter recently arriving in Pisces that you guys will have some focus around that area of life. But yeah, that's what I see there. All right, and moving on to your main spread. In the main situation position, we have the Four of Pentacles. So this is actually Capricorn energy here. And for you guys, that is your 8th house of death, rebirth, intimacy, taxes, investments. So could just be saying that you guys might be holding back a little bit when it comes to investments, or possibly even with intimacy with others, right? Maybe you could be holding a lot to yourself at this time. Could just be as simple as at the time of recording this, we're still in that Venus retrograde cycle, right? So that could be a part of it. The Mercury retrograde that's starting is actually going to be moving back into Capricorn as well, so there could definitely be some reevaluation in that area of life for sure. All right. In the Challenger obstacle position, we have the Queen of Swords, Libra energy, and the Seven of Swords, Aquarius energy. So this could just be pointing to the reasoning behind why you might be keeping things to yourself at this time. You might feel like there's someone in your environment that you can't necessarily trust. Right? You might feel like if there's some kind of investment ideas you might have, that if you put them out there, right, other people might actually try to jump on that idea before you have an opportunity to. A few different ways I can see that playing out. But yeah, it looks like whatever the situation is, it looks like you're holding back from opening up because you feel like there might not be someone who you could trust within your circle. Let me see if anything else comes to mind with this. And for some of you, this could even just be a situation coming back around, possibly from when we had the Mercury retrograde in Libra, and now that we have the Mercury retrograde starting in Aquarius. You know, you could see these issues coming back to the surface again from a different perspective this time, though. All right, in the foundation position, we have the 10 of Cups, Pisces energy, the 4 of Wands, Aries energy, and 7 of Cups, Scorpio energy. So looking at these things here, it could just be saying that you might have a vision for where you want to go as far as your goals go, but as far as the practicality of it all, that could be where there's a bit of a sticking point right now. Because for you guys, Scorpio energy is actually your 6th house of work and daily routine. So that's kind of what I'm seeing there, right? So you have the vision, you know how you know what you want to do, but the actual tangible, everyday, practical way of getting to it could be where the confusion's lying right now. So yeah, it could just be one of those things. I mean, you guys have had Uranus in your 12th house for quite a while, so you just might be getting tons of ideas coming into you, but as far as actually how to turn them into something practical, that could be a bit of a sticking point for you guys at this time. Not to mention that we have the North Node, like I was saying, into your 12th house as well, and then we'll have the South Node in your 6th house. So this could even just be saying that you might get some ideas and insights from your past that you may have long forgotten about, possibly even over lifetimes, that might be coming to you, and you might be trying to figure out where that's all coming from. But I feel like they can be helpful for you guys in achieving your goals. All right, in the past position, we have Justice reversed, the Tower reversed, and the Hierophant reversed. So 3 major arcana all in a reverse. Of course, the Tower being the more positive one to be in the reverse in this particular case. But the way I'm seeing these 3 cards playing out could just be saying that you might have gone through an injustice in the past, but I feel like what it's saying there is it actually might have saved you from an even bigger issue down the line. Because whatever this was, it didn't look like it was going to stand the test of time. So there's many areas that could be pointing to. Of course, given that this is Libra energy, could be around relationships for you guys for sure. But it could just be any kind of partnership that you might have been looking to, whether it be a financial one, romantic, friendship, you name it. And that could even be what that Queen of Swords is pointing to as well, where you could just still be a bit closed off because of whatever that injustice was. But seeing these three cards in the past the way they are, again, justice in reverse pointing to an injustice, right? The Tower in the reverse, though, saying that had that not happened, it could have even led to an even bigger issue because whatever the situation was with the Hierophant coming up in reverse, to me, that communicates that it wasn't necessarily going to stand the test of time anyway. All right. In the present position, we have the Five of Cups. So, Scorpio energy here. So, yeah, to me, this is probably still reflecting on that same disappointment, right? So, whatever the situation was, there might have been some potential for it for sure, right? Given that we see all those major arcana there. But I feel like this is saying that, hey, you may not see it at this time, especially seeing that we see the Five of Cups energy in the present, but it truly was for your highest good that was removed from your life. And like I said, again, this could just be going back to a timeline around the Libra season as well. And now with the retrograde coming up in Aquarius, which starts in your 9th house, you could just be seeing things from a deeper perspective in that regard. And then when it goes back into your 8th, could just be pointing to that as well. Where you're actually able to put it to bed. All right. And in your future position, we have the King of Pentacles. So yeah, especially if this was around the financial situation, this definitely looks like that will be improving for you for sure. This could even just be you guys coming to the realization on your own, right? That maybe you have more resources at your disposal than you realized, right? So even if it's just your creativity, for example, maybe you're in an environment where your creative ideas might have been getting shot down, let's say, right? And then you realize, well, do I even need the support of others to pursue these creative ideas, right? It could just be as simple as that. And you might end up striking gold in that regard. So it's one way I can see that playing out. But yeah, regardless, I feel like this is saying that there's definitely some stability there. And for some of you, it could even just be more of a perception thing where you're in that Four of Pentacles energy, right? Because maybe you did go through a stretch where you might have gone through some difficulties, and now it could just be one of those things where you're not realizing that you're actually out of that situation now, right? And that's one of those things. It's pretty common where people hold on to a situation they've gone through in the past and not even realize that there's not even the need to have their defenses up to the extent that they do. So that could be a situation you guys might be experiencing. All right. The position of your influence in the situation, we have the Death card. So definitely a positive to see there, given what we were just talking about, because to me, this is saying that you are actually ready to finally put that all to rest, right? Leave it behind you. Possibly even looking at the positive side of that as well. Like I said, maybe now you're actually starting to see whatever this failed situation was in the past, what it was meant to teach you, and actually feeling comfortable moving forward from that. Yeah, like I said, because astrologically speaking, for example, there's not really going to be anything going on in Scorpio, other than the South Node, of course. So could be as simple as that too, where maybe you're just revisiting a situation. Could even go back as far as 9 years, seeing it from a different perspective now. Now you're finally ready to let it go. All right, in the environment position, we have Temperance. So this is actually the major arcana card for Sagittarius. It could just be saying that whatever this is that you're letting go could just help restore balances in other areas of your life, possibly even in your relationships. And this could even just be saying that spiritually it's guided, right? So again, like I was saying with the North Node in your 12th, you might just be getting a lot of insights that you're not necessarily sure where they're coming from, but they might be very poignant and actually helping you clear a lot of fog that you might have had going for a while. And letting some things remain in the past. But yeah, that's what I'm seeing with that. Of course, this could represent another person as well that might come along that really seems to reflect that inner balance that you found within yourself recently too. So you know how they say when you're in a better space, you tend to attract better people toward you as well. All right, in the hopes or fears position, we have the Two of Cups. So I'm going to assume for most of you this is probably a hope. And of course, this could just be saying that you're looking for a bit of a meeting of the minds, right? Like I always say with this card, we tend to jump to the romantic aspect of things, given that it's the Cups energy, but this can just be as simple as that, right? Representing a meeting of the minds where you feel like you're on the same page with someone, where There's not a lot of having to explain yourselves to each other, right? You just kind of hit it off. And of course, given that for you guys, Cancer energy is your second house too. It can even be a situation around finances. It doesn't even have to be around romance. All right. And in the outcome position, we have the Lovers, which is the major arcana card for your sign. We have the High Priestess, which I usually view as Pisces energy. And we have the 10 of Wands, which is Sagittarius energy. So, seeing this card come up, especially given that we did see the Gemini energy come up in the dice as well, to me it's saying that you could be feeling like you're reconnecting with yourself, right? Like I said, maybe it's even just some things going on behind the scenes. Again, like I said, North Node in your 12th, that could definitely represent behind the scenes type activity. We see the angel symbolism in two different cards here. So it could just be saying that, you're reconnecting to yourselves through whatever the situation was that you might have been going through, right? Maybe getting a lot of intuitive insights on what the situation was. And to me, with that 10 of Wands, I feel like this is saying that you're finally ready to lay those burdens down. So whatever the situation was, I feel like this is you finally being ready to let it go this month. And speaking of which, at the bottom of the deck, we have the 8 of Cups, which is a very similar energy in that regard as well. Now, I do have to say, given what's right underneath that, we have the 8 of Pentacles. For some of you, this could even point to you leaving a career path behind and pursuing something different, possibly something where you might take on more of an entrepreneurial role. But yeah, that's what I see with that. And let's move on to your cards. First, we have the 4 Agreements card here, and it says, be impeccable with your word, enjoy heaven on earth. Okay, and there's the message. It says, impeccability of the word can lead you to personal freedom, success, and abundance. You can attain the kingdom of heaven from this one agreement. Be impeccable with your word. So, definitely a pretty positive message there. Be impeccable with your word makes me think of the fact that we saw that justice energy in the reverse, right? The Queen of Swords with the 7 of Swords in the challenge position. So that could be part of what it's saying too, that even if you feel like others have been a bit deceptive around you, I feel like it's saying to stay in your higher energy, right? Stay on your path and don't kind of stoop to that level, and things will definitely flow more smoothly for you. All right. Moving on to your oracle card here, we have 2 to see. There's the artwork and the number 7. Okay, it says, being in flow, returning to source, recognizing how pieces fit together, a natural pattern of events. The oracle's message, isn't it wonderful when you feel yourself in the flow of life? When events and conditions seem to engage you in a way that is fluid and effortless? This card reminds you that going with the flow is exactly what you need to do right now. Ride the wave of opportunity formed by perfect conditions. Allow trust and faith to guide you forward as you flow like a river into the sea of life. So, definitely a pretty positive message there, and going with the flow, that makes me think of seeing the Lover's energy there, and like I said, temperance in the environment. So it could just be one of those things where you might be feeling like you're being guided behind the scenes in a certain direction. The relationship message says there are points in a relationship when you have to decide to go with the flow rather than dictate the course you share with another. Can you let go of the need to have things your way and allow the relationship itself, your combined goals and desires, to steer the ship? Can you both transcend your personalities and allow the partnership to form its own identity, its own energy? Now is the time to relax and see where this mutual journey leads. So definitely a pretty positive message there. And I can say for some of you, even though that's a cardinal energy, that 4 of Pentacles, that can come off as a bit of a fixed energy. We see some fixed energy here and here. So for some of you, that could be what it is too. Maybe if you are releasing that need to do things a certain way, right, and having a bit more of a free spirit with that temperance energy, I could just be saying that could unlock some things for you in that regard too. All right, the prosperity message says everything seems to work out when you stop scrambling and allow the sea of opportunities to wash over you and wake you up to your most prosperous potential. To get into that flow, you need to address your beliefs about abundance and money. The true meaning of your personal currency lies in your skills, your talents and abilities, and most importantly, your core beliefs. Everything flows from your inner world and is reflected in the outer one. When grateful to serve, you align your prosperity consciousness with a higher consciousness, you can expect miracles. Everything you need will come to you easily. So again, pretty positive message there too. And interestingly enough, that again makes me think of the North Node being in Taurus, which is your 12th house. So for some of you, it could be finding a way to do something that has a bit more of a spiritual flavor to it, but it can actually bring you some financial abundance as well. So hopefully that resonated with you guys. All right, and lastly, we have Mudra for you, and this is your Mudra here. It's the Shakti Mudra. The keyword for it is inspiration. And all right, let's see if we can get everything in the frame. All right, yeah, there we go. So if you want to pause it or take a screenshot, you can, but under benefits, it says calms the mind, relaxes the body, induces sound sleep, reduces cramping of lower abdominal organs, releases pelvic tension, heals physical and emotional trauma associated with unconscious sex and or sexual abuse, opens the doorway to receptivity and intimacy, serves as a powerful connection to the divine feminine, the lunar cycles, tides, and the myriad cycles of nature. So interested in reading that, given what we were talking about with some of that heavy 8th house energy there. So if that mudra does sound like it resonates with you and you'd like to look into that a bit further, I will put the name in the description below as always. We'll wrap up there and I'll see you guys next month. All right, bye.